10 games you'll be obsessed with after the first hour. Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 grabbed me right away. Seriously, within the first hour, I was hooked. The action is just so smooth. It's that classic Devil May Cry style, but they've really made it even better. Pulling off crazy combos, keeping enemies floating in the air, it just feels good to do. And they don't waste any time getting you into the action. They give you the basics and then let you go wild. No long tutorials or anything like that. What really got me excited was switching between the characters. Playing as Nero with his Devil Breaker arms is a total blast. There's so many different ways to set up your attacks and try out different strategies. It's fun to experiment and see what works best. Then you get to play as Dante, and it's a completely different experience. His moves are insane, and learning all the different styles is a challenge I'm looking forward to. It's like learning a whole new game. And then there's V, who's completely unique. Controlling his demon pets to fight for him, that's just brilliant. It's such a cool and original take on the DMC formula. Just getting a taste of those 3 different ways to play in the first hour was enough to get me completely hooked. On top of all that, the game just oozes style. It looks fantastic, the music is pure energy, and the whole vibe is just so over the top and cool. It's the kind of game that makes you feel like a total badass while you're playing. The story seems interesting so far too, though I'll be honest, I'm mostly here for the awesome combat. But even the cutscenes are entertaining. They're so ridiculous and self-aware, it's hard not to love them. They don't take themselves too seriously. Honestly, after that first hour, I knew I was going to be spending a lot of time with this game. It's just so satisfying to play, and I can't wait to see what else they've got in store. It's just pure fun. It's like a shot of adrenaline straight to the heart. Fallout 3.
Come on, walk to daddy. Come to daddy.
Fallout 3 has this way of grabbing you right from the start, pulling you into its desolate and fascinating world. It's not just a post-apocalyptic game, it's a world you can get lost in. That first hour is crucial because it sets the stage for everything that follows. You start in Vault 101, and that whole intro sequence is brilliant. It's not just a tutorial, it's you growing up in the vault, you experience life there, make friends, and then boom, something happens and you're thrust out into the capital wasteland. It's a powerful opening that immediately makes you invested in your character and their journey. What really got me was the sheer scale of the world. Emerging from the vault and seeing the wasteland for the first time is a breathtaking moment. It's so vast and open, and you can go anywhere you want. There's no hand-holding. The game just says, here you go, explore. And that's exactly what I did. I wandered around, stumbled upon interesting locations, and met all sorts of strange and memorable characters. It felt like I was discovering the world organically, and that was incredibly exciting. The character creation system is also a big part of what makes Fallout 3 so addictive. You can customize your character's stats, skills, and perks, and these choices actually matter. They affect how you play the game and how other characters react to you. It's fun to experiment with different builds and see how they change your experience. It really feels like your character, and you're shaping their destiny in the wasteland. The quests in Fallout 3 are another highlight. They're not just fetch quests or kill quests, they're often complex and morally ambiguous. You'll have to make tough choices that have real consequences, and these choices can affect the world around you. It's not always clear what the right answer is, and that's what makes the quests so interesting. They make you think about the world and the people who live in it. Even the little things contribute to the immersion. The music is fantastic, the radio stations are hilarious, and the atmosphere is just perfect. It really feels like you're exploring a ruined world, and it's both captivating and a little bit creepy. Fallout 3 isn't just a game, it's an experience. That first hour is just a taste of what's to come, and it's enough to get you completely hooked. It's a game that you can easily sink hundreds of hours into, and it's still just as enjoyable today as it was when it first came out. It's a classic for a reason. The Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition is a remake done right. It's not just a visual upgrade, it's a complete reimagining of the original Mafia game, and it pulls you into its world from the very beginning. That first hour is crucial because it establishes the setting, introduces you to Tommy Angelo, and sets the stage for his descent into the world of organized crime. It's a classic gangster story, told with a level of polish and attention to detail that makes it feel fresh and engaging, even if you've played the original. What struck me immediately was the atmosphere. Lost Heaven, the city where the game takes place, is beautifully realized. It's a 1930s American city, and the game captures the era perfectly. From the architecture and the cars to the music and the clothing, everything feels authentic. It's like stepping back in time, and it's a joy to explore. The city feels alive with bustling streets, distinct neighborhoods, and a sense of history. The story is a big part of what makes Mafia Definitive Edition so compelling. It's a classic gangster narrative full of betrayal, loyalty, and the seductive allure of power. Tommy's journey from cab driver to made man is gripping, and you'll find yourself invested in his fate. The characters are well developed, and their interactions are a highlight of the game. They feel like real people with their own motivations and flaws. The gameplay is a solid mix of driving, shooting, and melee combat. The driving mechanics have been updated and feel great, and cruising around Lost Heaven in a vintage car is a lot of fun. The gunplay is also satisfying, and the missions are varied and engaging. They're not just mindless shooting galleries, they often involve stealth, exploration, and even some social interactions. The remake does a fantastic job of enhancing the original game's strengths while addressing some of its weaknesses. The graphics are stunning, the gameplay has been modernized, and the story has been expanded and refined. It's the definitive way to experience the Mafia story, and it's a must-play for fans of gangster games. That first hour is just a taste of what's to come, and it's enough to get you completely hooked. It's a journey into a fascinating and dangerous world, and it's a journey that's well worth taking. It's a classic story told with modern sensibilities, and it's a game that will stay with you long after you've finished play. Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 is a wild and crazy ride from the very start. It's like a non-stop action movie that just throws you right into the middle of the action. That first hour is a whirlwind of cool fighting moves, crazy cutscenes, and a little peek at the game's complicated and interesting story. It's a game that grabs your attention and doesn't let go, showing off its unique mix of super fast action and flashy style. One of the first things you'll notice is how great this game looks. Bayonetta 3 is a visual treat with amazing graphics and some of the most imaginative enemy designs I've seen. The places you go are really something too, and the game keeps putting you in new and exciting spots. It's clear they put a lot of work into making this world look awesome. The fighting, of course, is the main reason to play. It's quick, smooth, and has a lot of depth. Bayonetta has a ton of different moves and combos, and learning how to use them all is really fun. The game introduces you to new abilities and ways to fight pretty early, giving you a taste of all the cool stuff you can do. It's easy to get the hang of the basics, but there's a lot to learn if you want to be a real pro, and that's what makes it so addictive. The story in Bayonetta 3 is, well, it's a Bayonetta story. It's complicated, it jumps around a lot, and it's full of surprises. It's not always easy to follow what's going on, but it's always entertaining. The game introduces new characters and tells you more about the Bayonetta universe, and you can tell there's a lot more to the story than what you see at first. It definitely makes you want to know more. What really makes Bayonetta 3 special is how much fun it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's always ready to go over the top. The cutscenes are completely ridiculous, the characters are larger than life, and the action just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The Outer Wilds. So basically, in Outer Wilds, you're thrown into this charming miniature solar system and given the freedom to explore it at your own pace, which is incredibly exciting. What makes Outer Wilds so special is its focus on discovery. It's not just about completing objectives, it's about understanding the universe and the events that led to its current state. Each planet is a puzzle in itself, with hidden clues, intriguing locations, and fascinating characters to interact with. The game gently guides you, but it never holds your hand. It's up to you to piece together the information you find and unravel the mysteries of the solar system. So, the time loop is a brilliant mechanic that adds a unique layer to the gameplay. You have 22 minutes to explore, learn, and experiment before the sun explodes and resets the loop. This might sound frustrating, but it's actually incredibly liberating. It allows you to take risks, try different approaches, and learn from your mistakes without fear of permanent consequences. It's a clever way to encourage experimentation and make the world feel dynamic and interconnected. The story in Outer Wilds is subtle and unfolds gradually. It's not a narrative-heavy game, but the story is there, woven into the environment and the information you gather. It's a story that's both personal and cosmic, exploring themes of time, memory, and the nature of existence. It's a story that will stay with you long after you've finished play. What really sets Outer Wilds apart is its atmosphere. The game has a beautiful and melancholic tone, and the music is absolutely stunning. It perfectly complements the game's sense of wonder and mystery. Exploring the solar system feels like a real adventure, and the game does a fantastic job of capturing that feeling. The Control from Remedy Games. Control grabbed me right from the start. It's a game where you're thrown into this really weird building, the oldest house, and you can tell something's seriously off. That first hour is all about setting the scene, introducing you to Jesse Faden, the main character, and giving you a taste of how the game mixes action with some really strange supernatural stuff. It's the kind of game that makes you want to explore every nook and cranny. What makes Control so interesting is its unique look and the creepy feeling you get while playing. The oldest house is like a character itself. It's this big, brutalist building, but it seems to change and shift around you. The way they use lighting and the architecture makes you feel uneasy, and you're never quite sure what's waiting for you around the corner. It's a place that feels familiar in some ways, but also really strange, and figuring out its secrets is a big part of the fun. The gameplay in Control is a cool mix of shooting and using special powers. Jessie can use different guns, but she can also move things with her mind. This combo of regular weapons and supernatural abilities makes the fighting feel fresh and exciting. You can throw stuff at enemies, float in the air, and even take control of their minds for a short time. It's a fun and satisfying way to fight, and it makes you want to experiment with all the different things you can do. The story in Control is like a mystery that unfolds slowly. It's a puzzle within a puzzle, and you gradually learn the truth about the oldest house and the strange forces that are at work. The story is told through cut scenes, documents you find scattered around, and even the way the environment itself tells a story. It's a story with lots of twists and turns, and it'll keep you guessing until the very end. What really makes Control stand out is the overall vibe and how it makes you feel. The game has this unique and unsettling tone, and it's easy to get sucked into its world. The oldest house is a fascinating place to explore, and the game does a great job of building a sense of mystery. That first hour is just a hint of what's to come, and it's enough to get you completely hooked. Guys, before we continue the video, I want to give a quick shout out to Instant Gaming. Basically, if you want to grab a game for any platform, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, they've got you covered. The prices of games here are way cheaper than the usual stores, so you save some cash and still get all the good stuff. It's also super safe and reliable. Your keys come instantly. Honestly, it's the easiest way to grab a game you've been wanting without paying full price. So yeah, if you want to save some money and get your next game fast, check out Instant Gaming. I dropped the link in the description, or you can just scan this QR right here. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Completely mad. I will put you down.
I wasn't expecting to be so into it after just an hour. It's not just another Lord of the Rings game, it's got its own cool story, and even better, this nemesis system that makes it totally different. That first hour is all about getting the hang of the combat, checking out the world, and most importantly, running into your first orc captains and realizing how dynamic this game can be. What makes Shadow of Mordor special is that nemesis system. It's a total game changer. These orc captains aren't just random bad guys. They have their own personalities, strengths, weaknesses, and they even have rivalries with each other. They remember what you do and they'll react to it. If you kill one, another one might take his place, or maybe he'll come back stronger and wanting revenge. If you run away from a fight, they'll remember you being a chicken. It makes you feel like your actions actually matter, and it makes every fight feel unique and personal. That first hour gives you a taste of this system, and it's super addictive. The fighting itself is also really fun. It's a smooth and brutal system that's similar to the Batman Arkham games, but it adds its own things. You can use all sorts of weapons and abilities, and you can even control orcs to fight for you. It's fun to try different ways to fight and see what works best. Taking down a captain who's been giving you a hard time is incredibly satisfying. The story in Shadow of Mordor is pretty good, but it's the nemesis system that really makes the story interesting. It's your personal fight against the orc captains that keeps you going, and the relationships you build with them, whether they're enemies or allies you've controlled, are what make the story compelling. It's a story that comes from how you play the game, and that's what makes the game so fun to play over and over again. The world of Mordor itself is also really well done. It's a dark and scary place, and exploring it is a fun and dangerous experience. There are lots of things to find, side quests to do, and orc camps to sneak into. It's a world that feels alive, and it's easy to get lost in it for hours. That first hour is just the start of your adventure, and it's enough to get you completely hooked. It's a game that offers something new and exciting, and it's a must-play for anyone who likes action games and the Lord of the Rings world. Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb is a really fun and weird game that had me hooked right away. It's a clever mix of going into dungeons and building up your own cult. That first hour is important because it shows you how the game works. You go into these randomly generated dungeons, grab resources, and then use them to make your cult bigger and better. It's a great combination that makes you want to keep playing. What makes Cult of the Lamb so captivating is how it mixes action and strategy. The dungeon crawling is fast and fun, and there are tons of different weapons, abilities, and curses you can find. Each time you go into a dungeon, it's different because the levels are randomly generated and you get different upgrades. It's fun to try out different combinations and see what works best for you. But it's not just about fighting, you also have to manage your cult. The town building part adds another layer to the game. You have to build structures, gather supplies, and keep your followers happy and loyal. You can do rituals, give sermons, and even brainwash your followers to believe what you believe. It's a surprisingly deep and rewarding system that goes really well with the dungeon crawling. It's cool to watch your cult grow and get stronger, and it gives you a sense of purpose beyond just beating up monsters. The way the game looks is also a big part of why it's so appealing. It has this dark and cartoonish style that's both cute and creepy. The characters are well designed and the world is full of small details that make it feel alive. It's a visually pleasing game that's easy to look at, even when there's a lot going on in a fight. The story in Cult of the Lamb is interesting and has a dark sense of humor. You're a lamb that's brought back to life by some mysterious god, and you have to start a cult. The story unfolds slowly as you talk to your followers and meet other characters. It's a story with a lot of twists and turns, and it will keep you guessing what's going to happen next. Cult of the Lamb is a game that's hard to stop playing. It's a great mix of action, strategy, and charm, and it offers a unique and addictive experience. NieR Automata. This game might take some time to you pull in, not like the other games in this list, but once you do, it wasn't just the cool robot fights, though those definitely helped. It was more the whole vibe, this weird, kinda sad world they built. That first hour does a great job of setting things up. You get thrown into this war between androids and machines, get a taste of the combat, and you're immediately curious about what the heck is going on. It just makes you want to explore and find out more. What's cool about NieR Automata is how it connects the gameplay and the story. The combat is really fun, it's fast, it's smooth, and there's a surprising amount of depth to it. You can switch between different weapons and fighting styles, which keeps things interesting. But it's not just about the fighting, you're also exploring this big, empty world, and it's actually pretty beautiful. It's full of little details and hidden spots, which makes it fun to just wander around. The story is where this game gets really interesting. It's a complicated story about identity, free will, and what makes someone human. And it's all told through the lens of this post-apocalyptic world with robots and machines. The way they tell the story is really well done too. It's not just cutscenes, it's also stuff you see and hear as you're playing. It's a story with a lot of twists and turns, and it'll keep you guessing. What's really neat is how the game uses the way you play to make you feel what the characters are going through. And the music? Dude, the music is amazing. It's this haunting, kind of sad soundtrack that fits the game perfectly. It's so good, it almost feels like another character in the game, adding so much to the mood. Seriously, I still listen to it sometimes. NieR Automata is a game that sticks with you. It's a really unique experience that mixes action, some deep philosophical stuff, and a strange kind of beauty.
We take pride in.
The Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Where do I even start? This game is just so good. From the opening moments, it's clear they put a ton of effort into making it something special. That first hour is like a mini movie, setting up the story, reintroducing you to Nathan Drake, and giving you a taste of the amazing set pieces and action sequences to come. It's a really polished and engaging introduction that immediately pulls you in. What I loved about Uncharted 4 is how it balances the action with the story and character development. The gameplay is fantastic, the climbing, the shooting, the puzzle solving, it all feels really smooth and intuitive. They've really refined the formula and it's just a joy to play. But it's not just about running and gunning. The game also takes its time to develop the characters and their relationships. You really get to know Nate, Sully, and even Elena, and you care about what happens to them. The story itself is classic Uncharted. It's a treasure hunt, of course, but it's also about Nate coming to terms with his past and deciding what he wants for his future. It's a more personal story than the previous games, and it's really well written. The voice acting is top-notch, and the cutscenes are so well directed that they feel like they're part of a movie. It's a really cinematic experience. Visually, Uncharted 4 is stunning. The environments are absolutely gorgeous, and the attention to detail is incredible. It's one of the best looking games I've ever played. They really pushed the hardware to its limits, and it shows. It's a visual feast. What really makes Uncharted 4 special, though, is how it makes you feel. It's an adventure game, but it's also a game about friendship, family, and growing up. It's a game that makes you laugh, it makes you gasp, and it might even make you tear up a little bit. That first hour is just the beginning of an incredible journey, and it's enough to get you completely invested. Subnautica.
Radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall.
This game is something else. It's not just a survival game, it's a terrifying survival game, especially in those first few hours. You crash land on this alien ocean planet, and you're immediately thrown into the deep end, literally. That first hour is all about scrambling for resources, figuring out the basics, and realizing just how vulnerable you are. It's a really intense and immersive introduction that sets the stage for the whole game. What makes Subnautica so gripping is the sense of isolation and the constant feeling of being watched. You're alone on this planet, and the ocean is full of strange and often hostile creatures. Exploring the depths is both fascinating and terrifying. You never know what you're going to encounter, and that sense of the unknown is what makes the game so compelling. It's a true survival experience, and it really gets under your skin. The crafting and base building aspects are also really well done. You start with nothing, and you have to gradually build up your resources and technology. It's satisfying to see your base grow from a small shelter to a fully equipped underwater research facility. The game gives you a lot of freedom in how you design your base, and it's fun to experiment and create something that's both functional and aesthetically pleasing. The story in Subnautica is more subtle than some other games, but it's really well integrated into the gameplay. You gradually uncover the secrets of the planet and the alien race that inhabited it. The story is told through messages you find, clues you discover in the environment, and interactions with other survivors, if you can call them that. It's a story that unfolds organically as you explore, and it's a story that's both intriguing and thought-provoking. What really sets Subnautica apart is the atmosphere. The underwater world is beautifully realized, and the music is fantastic. It's a game that's both beautiful and terrifying, and it's easy to get completely lost in it. Spider-Man 2018. Like, from the first swing, I was hooked. It's not just another superhero game, it actually makes you feel like Spider-Man. That opening hour is brilliant. It throws you right into the action, introduces you to Peter Parker and his world, and showcases the incredible traversal mechanics. Swinging through New York City is just so much fun, it's hard to put the controller down. What really makes this game shine is how well it captures the feeling of being Spider-Man. The web swinging is so fluid and intuitive, it's a joy to just zip around the city. They've nailed the physics, and it feels so natural to swing from building to building, and it's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about the way you get there. You can do all sorts of tricks and flips, and it just feels so exhilarating. But it's not just about the traversal. The combat is also really well done. It's fast, acrobatic, and satisfying. Peter has a wide range of moves and gadgets, and you can really get creative with how you take down enemies. The combat system is deep enough that it never gets repetitive, and it's always fun to experiment with different combos and strategies. The story is also surprisingly good. It's not just a generic superhero plot, it's a personal story about Peter Parker and his struggles. He's trying to balance his responsibilities as Spider-Man with his personal life, and it's something that a lot of people can relate to. The characters are well developed, and the voice acting is top-notch. You really get invested in Peter's journey and the people around him. New York City itself is a character in the game. It's beautifully realized, and it's full of things to do. There are collectibles to find, side missions to complete, and crimes to stop. It feels like a living, breathing city, and it's a joy to explore. Borderlands 2. Imagine a crazy, over-the-top cartoon world where everyone's trying to kill each other for loot. That's basically Pandora. You get to pick one of these characters, they're called Vault Hunters, and each one has their own special skills. Like, one guy can turn invisible, another one can summon a turret, stuff like that. Then you just go nuts, shooting everything that moves and grabbing all the cool guns you can find. And there are so many guns, seriously, it's ridiculous. Like, you'll find a pistol that shoots corrosive bullets, then a shotgun that sets enemies on fire, then a sniper rifle that explodes when it hits something. It's just a constant stream of new and crazy weapons. That's a big part of the fun, just finding the perfect gun for your character. The story's not bad either. There's this villain, Handsome Jack, and he's a total jerk, but he's also hilarious. He's got this whole empire and you're trying to take him down. You meet all sorts of weird and wacky characters along the way. Some of them help you, some of them try to kill you. It's a pretty simple story, but it works. The best way to play Borderlands 2 is definitely with friends. It's a total blast to team up with a couple of buddies and just wreak havoc on Pandora. The different characters work really well together, and it's just a fun time hanging out and shooting stuff. It's not a super deep game or anything, but it's perfect for when you just want to relax and have some mindless fun. It's got a ton of replay value too, because there are so many different ways to play. You can easily spend hours and hours just messing around on Pandora. If you like shooting games and collecting loot, you'll probably have a good time with this one. It's just a solid, fun game. Psychonauts 2005. Psychonauts 2005 is just weird in the best possible way. It's like a cartoon you can play, full of quirky characters, bizarre situations, and some seriously creative level design. That first hour is all about getting introduced to Raz, this kid who runs away from the circus to become a psychonaut, basically a psychic secret agent. You meet all these strange characters at the Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp, and it's clear from the start that this isn't your average summer camp. What makes Psychonauts so cool is the way it handles the psychic powers. They're not just generic abilities, they're integrated into the gameplay in really interesting ways. Like, you can read minds, which is how you advance the story and learn more about the characters. You can also use telekinesis to move objects, create shields, and even set things on fire. It's a really fun and versatile system. And the levels, they're the best part. Each level is set inside someone's mind, and they are all completely different and imaginative. One level might be a giant brain, another might be a city made of teeth, and another might be a circus. They're all visually stunning and full of clever puzzles and platforming challenges. Exploring these crazy mindscapes is a huge part of the fun. The story is also pretty wild. It's a coming-of-age story about Raz learning to control his powers and facing his own inner demons, but it's also a comedy, with lots of funny dialogue and absurd situations. The characters are all memorable and their personalities really shine through. It's a charming and quirky story that's full of heart. Psychonauts is a game that's truly unique. There's nothing else quite like it. It's funny, it's challenging, and it's full of surprises. Wolfenstein: The New Order. Okay, so Wolfenstein: The New Order. It's a shooter, obviously, but it's not just some mindless run-and-gun thing. The story is actually pretty decent. It's set in this alternate reality where the Nazis won World War II, which is a pretty creepy thought. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, and he's not just some tough guy. He's got a bit of a backstory, and you kind of get invested in his struggle against the Nazi. They've made this world that feels pretty real, even though it's totally fictional, and it's a bit unsettling. The shooting itself is good too. It's satisfying, you know, good weight to the guns, and the enemies are fun to blast away, but it's not just about the shooting. There's some stealth mixed in there, and you can sometimes choose how you want to approach a situation. Do you go in guns blazing, or do you try to sneak around and take out enemies quietly? That kind of thing. They've also got some cool characters in the game. BJ is a good protagonist, and the people he teams up with are all interesting in their own way. They're all fighting for something, and you get to know their stories as you go through the game. It makes the whole thing feel a bit more personal. You know, it's not just about killing Nazis, it's about these people and their fight for freedom. Honestly, Wolfenstein: The New Order surprised me. I went into it expecting just a shooter, but it turned out to be a lot more than that. It's got good action, a decent story, and some memorable characters. If you're looking for a shooter with a bit of substance, you should definitely give this one a try. It's just a solid, well-made game. It's not trying to be super deep or anything, but it tells a good story, and it's a fun ride. Detroit: Become Human. So, Detroit Become Human, it's kind of hard to describe. It's not like a regular game where you're always shooting or jumping. It's more like an interactive movie, I guess. You're playing as these 3 different androids, and their stories are all connected. One's a detective trying to figure out why some androids are starting to feel emotions. Another one becomes the leader of a robot revolution. And the third one is just trying to protect a little girl. The cool thing is you get to make all the choices for these characters, and I mean all the choices. Even little things can change what happens later on. Like one time I was playing and I was mean to someone and it came back to bite me in the butt later. It's kind of intense because you really feel like your decisions matter. There are tons of different endings too, so it's fun to see how things can play out differently. It looks really good too. It's like watching a movie, but you're the one holding the controller. The acting is pretty good and the characters are interesting. It makes you think about what it means to be alive and all that philosophical stuff. It's not a light and fluffy game, that's for sure. It deals with some serious topics like prejudice and what happens when technology gets too advanced. Honestly, it's not for everyone. If you're looking for non-stop action, this probably isn't your thing, but if you like stories and you like making choices that have consequences, you should check it out. It's a pretty unique experience. It's definitely a different kind of game, and it's interesting to see how your choices can change the story. It's worth checking out if you're into story-driven games.